Today, the world does not look at India as a third world country. A country of over 1.3 billion people had predicted that not less than 70 to 80 million people would die. With a collective confidence, we faced it. Our countrymen and women observed the discipline needed. Think something big and pursue that. If you think small, you will be condemned, you will be doomed to be small. Your academic career in a particular discipline, and you have successfully completed it. It is a landmark achievement, and you have all the reasons to be proud of it. Now, you are at the threshold of a new phase of your life. Technically, those of you who have graduated, the period or the phase of formal education, academic education is over. Education as such does not cease to be a part of one's life. You will remain the lifelong learner. Yet, the formal phase of your life as a student is over, and you are entering a new phase of life, what is called, in our tradition, we call it Grihastha Ashram, the phase in which you will be working, you will be doing things, you will be earning livelihood for yourself, for your family, or some of you would be creating livelihood for others. And in the process, you will do things that will go towards building this new nation. My young friends, you are fortunate. You are fortunate. First of all, you have studied in a good college which has a very high ranking in accreditation. It is A+. I would wish the college to go further to A++. But the fact is, it is A+, is itself remarkable. So you have studied in a good institution. So the quality of education is presumed to be good. You are fortunate in a significant way that you are graduating at a time which is very, very interesting for the country, where you have umpteen opportunities to do things. Your predecessors, those who had graduated a couple of years back, perhaps for them there were not so many opportunities as you have today. Our country is changing, is transforming. A new India, a new Bharat is being reborn. In the last couple of years, under a very dynamic and visionary national leadership, the country is experiencing comprehensive transformation. Comprehensive. There is a positivity in the air all around. The country is far more bold and confident than it was before. Till a few years back, this country was not taken seriously at the international level. On the international table, in the Committee of Nations, countries far, far smaller, they had a louder voice. Today, though we have not yet become a developed country, we have yet many problems to overcome. Today, the world does not look at India as a third world country. Today, the world looks at India with expectation to provide leadership. We have demonstrated it. Our country has demonstrated it. In the recent pandemic, everyone was affected. The whole world was affected. Nobody knew how to deal with it because it was an unknown beast. The way we managed, it is remarkable. It became a case study for the rest of the world. A country of over 1.3 billion people. Many doomsayers, many people across the world and some in India as well, had predicted that not less than 70 to 80 million people would die. And thanks to our national leadership, with a collective confidence, we faced it. Our countrymen and women observed the discipline needed. And thanks to our scientists, we got in our vaccine in a record time. Rich countries, developed countries, when they developed their vaccine, they started vaccine nationalism, prices started shooting up. It was our country, it was India, which while meeting the need, the formidable need of our own people, we gave vaccine to needy people in more than 150 countries. We demonstrated then with times of crisis, the world can look upon India for solace, for support. And we did that. And we did that under what we called Project Vaccine Matri, friendship, gratis. It was possible because our scientists could invent the vaccine, could create the vaccine. Our industrialists could produce the vaccine. And our country and country leadership decided to share it with the rest of the world. The leadership of India during COVID-19, the pandemic was established. Recent Russia-Ukraine war, it has affected every country. The prices have gone up, many commodities have gone up, especially when hydrocarbon is affected, the prices go up, prices of rest of the things also go up. The world looks upon India with an expectation that perhaps if India is involved and India tells, perhaps this war will end. And we demonstrated it in a limited way. When we had our boys and girls studying in Ukraine, several thousand of them, and there was a major humanitarian crisis, how to evacuate them. Our leadership told the leadership of Russia and Ukraine both, stop the war, we have to evacuate our boys and girls, please don't fight. And both the countries listened. They stopped fighting. They gave us the window. We evacuated all our boys and girls, all our students. They came unharmed. Unlike in the past, India is not a lightweight. Today, when Indian Prime Minister speaks, the rest of the world listens. And this is primarily because the whole country is moving forward with a positive mind. In every field, unlike in the past, we don't just think small, we don't dream small. We take daring challenge, we set larger targets, incredible targets, and we achieve it. Every field, be it infrastructure, be it in health, be it education, be it industry, be it innovation, be it in a space, be it in ocean, be it in cyber, every field, India is looked upon by the world to provide the leadership. Today, our young men and women are doing incredible things. Until a few years, the government used to be the guardian, the Mai-Baap. People used to look upon government as an engine of growth or a means of transformation. Government would do it. This is a country of over 1.3 billion people. What is government? Infinitesimal, small number. This leadership trusts the people of this country, our young men and women. And look at the result. After pandemic, when the world, major part of it is either at the brink of recession or is facing recession, Indian economy is bouncing. It has some ups and downs, small hiccups, but it is bouncing. India is today one of the fastest growing economy in the world. Other day, young people like you, young engineers, they gave me a demonstration. They are working in IIT Madras. They are making launch vehicles for a space. They have made launch vehicles for a space. Launch vehicles to carry payload of 30 kgs to 300 kg. Normally, when we make our ISRO, which is again among the leading space institutions in the world, they make for several metric tons of the heaviest payload. But in the age of fast-growing technology and fast-growing use of a space, there is a greater demand for smaller payloads. People around the world, entities around the world are looking for a solution. These young men and women, they have provided it at a far low cost. Now, those who are desirous to launch their satellite, they can use them, and the people around the world, be it from US, be it from Europe, be it from Japan, they are signing MOU with them. It is incredible, such incredible things are done by people like you. So when I say you are fortunate, you are lucky, there is a basis to it. Because before you, you have so much opportunities. I would urge you, my friends, to think over it. Don't think the way as your predecessors have thought so far. They were constrained by the circumstances. They were constrained by the resources. You are not so much constrained. So don't think just to pursue a conventional path. Think something new. Think something big and pursue that. You know, you are also fortunate that you are graduating at a time when our country has entered the Amrit Kal. The last quarter of the century When by 2047 this country would be celebrating centenary of independence, by then India must be a fully developed country. A fully developed country to provide the leadership to the world. And in 2047, all of you graduates, you will be almost at the middle of your life. You will be at the helm of affairs at the time. You would be doing the reckoning, what have you done to make this country where it should be, to be the world leader, to be a developed country. Now this Amrit Kal, this 25 years is your period, but it is a period of duty. That is why it is called Kartabya Kal. It's a period when you have to work and make this country developed, take it to its destiny that it deserves. Wherever you go, whichever field you go, you are all engineers. Many of you would be choosing a career, further professional career. You would be here, some of you would be going away. Wherever you go, do well. Do well, and whatever you are doing, think of this country, think of this nation. When nation grows, we all grow. We all grow. We are today, when an Indian goes out of the country, he doesn't have to be shy of showing the passport, I am an Indian. Today, when an Indian goes, immigration officer in the most advanced countries treat them with respect. Here is a chairperson. It's not like what it used to be in the past. We get this pride because the country is growing, country is rising. And country is rising because people like you are doing things which is making this country rise. So this 25 years is very, very important for the country and for you. Now that you are entering a new phase of life, my advice to you all would be, don't think small. Don't think small. Because if you think small, you will be condemned. You will be doomed to be small. You will be as big, as large as your dream, as your thought. Dream something big. Howsoever insane, howsoever incredible it might appear, if you are convinced, I should have it, dream it and put your best in it. Forget the rest of the world. Forget who tells what. I see here you have a gathering of more than 500, 600 graduates. Here you may be 1 in 600, but each one of you are an independent entity. You dream and you pursue your dream. Think big and work hard to achieve that thought, the dream of yours. And don't get distracted by negative thoughts. Life is not a journey of continuous success. You will get setbacks. Everyone gets setbacks. I received several setbacks in my life. I failed many times in my life. The difference is, I did not allow my failure to defeat me. I said, look, it is a lesson. Try to understand and analyze what happened, where did I go wrong, improve upon it and move on. And success will be yours. So dream big, work hard, and don't be defeated by your failure. Be entrepreneur, be innovator, do things new. You are all qualified, technically qualified people. Now, no one could be better qualified than you guys are. Think of doing something new. As I just mentioned, even our guest of honor spoke about number of a startup. Who are they? They are people like you. Whichever field you choose, do it. And you know, to do anything new, to do anything, to start a startup, to work on a new idea, what all things you need? You essentially need three things. You need an idea, which has to be yours, what you wish to do. You need capital, initial capital, which are available today. It's not an issue today. Third is you need to have know-how, how to go about. You may have an idea, but details, the nitty-gritty, nuts and bolts of how to go about, you have people to guide you. Get on the Niti Aayog portal. There are others also who will guide you. But if you have any issue, get on the Niti Aayog portal. There are people to guide you. And if you have any problem, send a mail to Raj Bhavan. We will help you out. We will try to connect you with the people who will be able to guide you. You decide, you have an idea, you will have the capital, you will have the know-how, start it. That's how. Don't be afraid of uncertainty. What is life? The joy of life is to taking on things which are uncertain. We have all taken, I have taken all through my life uncertain. People say this college is catering to rural areas. I have come from a far, far worse rural areas than this is. When I think of my village, it is far more developed. I had to walk for 8 kilometers one way to reach my school, from primary to high school. There was no road. But that didn't stop me. That didn't inhibit me to decide, to think big, and to pursue my dream. So, don't quote adversity as a reason, as an excuse for you not doing. And I'm sure you are not one of those. You will be. You are all product of this college. You should be proud of it and move on in life. Hereinafter, the field is yours, the country is yours. What Swami Vivekananda used to say, arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is attained. Don't stop until then. There is no stopping midway. You need to have that sense, a bit of insanity, bit of madness to achieve anything great in life. Otherwise, ordinary things, nothing big about it. But if you have to achieve something, some people might call you, this is something, might try to dissuade you. Don't listen. Have some element of craziness in you. Only then you achieve something big in life. Do that. Make yourself proud. Make your family proud. Make the country proud. I often say that all of you, young people, you are like seeds of a banyan tree. The size of a mustard, tiny atomic particle. But in that seed, there is hidden a mammoth banyan tree. It is for you to grow. And if you don't grow, you remain stunted. It is your loss. It is a loss to your family. It is a loss to the nation. Grow to your potential. And you are something more about your personal life. A few things I would suggest with experience in life, I would suggest to bear in mind. Every human being we are all multifaceted. We have several dimensions, but there are three core dimensions. Our physical self, intellectual self, and a spiritual self. Physically, we are all alike. We have a body, defined set of organs. the intellectual self and a spiritual self. You need to take care of all your three self. You need to grow holistically. You must take care of your health. At a young age, you might not be very much concerned about it, because after all, when a seed grows, it has all the life, it has all the energy. But if it is not maintained properly, it starts wilting, it starts withering. Take care of your health. Have a regime of exercise. Yoga is the best. I have found in my life yoga. You choose what you wish to, but you must keep yourself physically fit. If you are unwell, you suffer. Your family suffer. Your friends suffer. If you are unwell, you are doing, of course, communicable disease can happen to anyone. But if you suffer on account of lifestyle disease, you are doing a great sin. You are committing a great sin. Take care of your health. Intellectual self, keep growing, keep reading. You are now a graduate. That doesn't mean that you have known everything. There is no end to it. We all keep learning, we all keep growing. And the law of nature is, if you don't grow, you decay. And I don't think you would like to decay. So keep improving your intellectual capability. Keep reading. Professional. And also things which may not necessarily be related to your profession alone. But keep reading, keep yourself intellectually alive and keep intellectually growing. In life, you come across situations where you need some backup, inner voice, inner support. And there, your spiritual orientation, your spiritual growth will be a great help to you, that will stand by you, that will keep you in good shape, emotionally, psychologically. That is why when Prime Minister says that this country, foundation of this country is three pillars: economic growth, technological growth, and cultural growth. And our culture is essentially rooted in our spirituality. Be rooted. Be rooted to your culture. Be rooted to your spirituality. If you don't, then you become a poor imitation of the West. India will not grow as a poor imitation of the West. In terms of economic growth, in terms of technological growth, it is all universal. There is nothing different. What you do in India and what you do in Europe or America. But what is different is our spirituality, our culture that tells us that we are all one, we are part of a family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That tells us to help out our people, needy people in the world. That even despite we had our own problem during COVID, we reached out to needy people in 150 countries. This is what defines India. This is what defines India's cultural spirituality, where we see ourselves in everyone, we look at the whole world as a family. So India has to grow strong, not only materially, but also spiritually. India has to be what Swami Vivekananda had dreamed. He says, I want an India whose muscles are made of iron, strong like iron, whose sinews are like of a steel, a strong sinews, but whose mind is Vedantic, compassionate. This is what India that we all strive for. This is what we would wish to be by 2047, when you would be the leader of this country in various fields, wherever you are. My friends, I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Thank you in your personal life, professional life. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.